Celtics and Hawks. This game was over at halftime. As you see here, 74-44 was the score at halftime. The Celtics were 9 of 16 from beyond the arc. The Hawks were 1 of 16 from beyond the arc. So what do you think happened? Do you think that the Celtics won this game by 30? Actually, they didn't. They only won by 13. It was a little closer in the end. 112-99, but they were up by 30 in the first half, up by as many as 32 in the third. The three-point disparity was massive. 5 of 29 when all said and done for Atlanta. 13 for 33 for Boston. Adds up to a 1-0 series lead for the Celtics. Get some instant analysis. Welcoming former NBA Coach of the Year, Avery Johnson. As a player, helped the Spurs win an NBA championship, and the Celtics have the second-best odds to win the NBA championship behind the Milwaukee Bucks. And, Avery, what you saw in the first half was a clinic. What did you see?
I saw a clinic on defense. Obviously, they were up by 30, but the defense specifically on Trae Young was picture perfect. They limited his touches in certain situations. They didn't really foul him when he drove to the basket and bailed him out. They defended the three-point line at a high level. Steals created some fast break points. Their last line of defense against DeJounte Murray in the paint was outstanding. They rebounded the ball at a high level. Robert Williams did a nice job coming off the bench, scoring in double figures and providing 8 rebounds. But defensively, this was a man amongst boys game. The Celtics put on a clinic, guarding the ball, pick and rolls, closeouts, contesting shots, 50-50 and loose balls. Really impressed with the Celtics on the defensive end.
Yeah, this game was over at halftime. The Celtics shot an eye-popping 60% from the field. That's basically the definition of lights out. And for me, I think this series is lights out. This is going to be Celtics in 4. This is just an overmatched series between a 2 and a 7. And it sort of reminds me of our guy Rick Pitino, right? 23 years ago, he told Celtics fans, Larry Bird not walking through that door, Kevin McHale not walking through that door, Robert Parrish is not walking through that door. And if you're Quinn Snyder, and I know he just came on with the team, Dominique Wilkins isn't walking through that door. Mookie Blaylock is not walking through that door. I don't know how this team has a chance against Boston. Explain if there is one.
Yeah, and Doc Rivers is coaching the Philadelphia 76ers.
Exactly.
Bud Webb is retired here in Dallas. But, again, I just think for Atlanta, they got to figure out a way to protect Trae Young, especially on a defensive end. They're basically hunting Trae Young out, forcing him to switch. They got to trap the ball a little bit, get in some rotations. You got to figure out who you're going to eliminate. Is it Jaylen Brown? Is it Tatum? You can't allow both of those guys to go for 20-plus points. They kind of combine for 50 points. So I think they got to do a better job of protecting Trae Young on the defensive end. Offensively, some of the other guys, they got to make some threes. You cannot beat the Boston Celtics by going 5 for 29 from behind the three-point line.
Joe Mazzulla in his first year as head coach of the Boston Celtics. And this is a situation here where you want to keep your guys fresh, Avery. You know all about that. You don't want to make any mistakes here in a situation where you're running guys out on the floor too long, especially when you know you are outclassing your competition. What would your message be to Joe Mazzulla? How would you advise him if you were on his bench?
I would focus more on their second half performance. In the second half, the Celtics only scored 38 points, and they were close to surrendering a 32-point lead had Atlanta been able to convert some of those steals that they had in transition. So I would be more focused on saying, hey, guys, we can't take this team for granted. We are the better team, but if we turn the ball over, Brown had 6 turnovers tonight. Remember in the finals last year, Brown and Tatum turned the ball over too much against the Golden State Warriors. So ball security is very important. Do not be careless with the basketball. You want to make this team play 5 against 5, not 5 against 4, by giving them some easy opportunities in transition. So my focus would be to delete the first half, focus more on that second half so that you can have a captive audience.
There you go. I hope Joe Mazzulla's listening because you're a former NBA Coach of the Year, and if you want to get to the finals, you better listen up. Right now, Celtics up 1-0. Game 2 coming your way on Tuesday. Avery Johnson here, break it down for us on CBS Sports HQ. Avery, thanks.
Thanks.
You want to talk about owning your opponent? Celtics have Atlanta's number. Look at this. The last 6 games, they've beaten the Hawks. And this one, they led by as many as 32. Finally, 112-99 is the final score. So it doesn't look as bad as it did, but it was pretty ugly from Atlanta's side of things as they got down by 30 at halftime, never recovered, in Boston looking to cruise to a first-round sweep and get out of the first round uninjured, healthy, and move along as they chase another NBA championship.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.